Hi, if you're new here, my name's Stuart. I'm a psychotherapist working in the UK. I specialise in working with people who have experienced trauma. If you like this type of content, it's a bit different from my music reactions. If you want to see more Arcane, if you liked the deeper dives I did into Powder's formulation and Vander's formulation, then please subscribe to the channel. So in my analytics, I can see how many people have subscribed to each video, and I place a lot of weight on that metric when I determine what direction the channel's going in, what I'm going to pull out next. Because to me, views are nice. I like seeing the view numbers go up. That tells me that something is quite popular and it's what people like to see. But it's the subscriber number that tells me that people have a bit more of a commitment to that. They're a bit more engaged with it because they've subscribed. They want to keep up to date with the channel and see what else I'm putting out, or see similar content that I'm putting out. So that metric of subscribers tells me what people want to see. Please remember that what you're going to see here is just an initial impression, my initial reaction to seeing this for the first time. It's not going to be an in-depth analysis or anything because I can't process that quick enough as I'm seeing it. And plus I want to enjoy the show. I don't want to stop it like at the end of every scene and do some kind of in-depth analysis where I go back and look through it all again. I want to enjoy it as you guys get to. Enough said. Let's get into the episode. Something's building. All my screen's frozen.
Ever wonder what it's like to drown?
Not really.
There's peace in water, like it's holding you, whispering in low tones to let it in, and every problem in the world will fade away.
Personally, I absolutely hate being in water. I hate swimming. It's like my worst activity ever. But I can understand. So my mind's going in two places here. I can understand that it can be quite relaxing. Like I quite like it in the bath because I can touch the bottom. Where you go under the water, you can just hear the muffled bass sounds, and it's like the world just slips away for you for a bit, and you can kind of sink into it and relax and almost like forget your problems. But then he's talking about drowning at the beginning, which seems to have a bit more of a finality to it. And again, I'm thinking about if you were to end it that way, which sounds horrendous, but if you were to choose to do that, then one reason that people choose to do that is to get rid of their pain. It's the mind's way of problem solving that. How do I get rid of this pain where I've tried everything else and I can't get rid of it? Well, the mind goes, there's one way you can get rid of the pain for sure. Whether that's kind of chronic physical pain that people have to live through every day, whether it's psychological and mental pain, that kind of relentless being hammered by pain all the time, and you feel like you've tried everything, you can't get rid of it, then it makes sense for the brain to go, there's one way you can get rid of this. But brains are very short-term thinking a lot of the time. It'll get rid of your pain in the short term, but the long-term consequences aren't great.
But then there's this thing in your head, and it's raging.
Is this some kind of fight? Oh.
To survive. And all the while this question lingers before you. Have you had enough? It's funny. You could pass a lifetime without ever facing a choice like that. For that, I thank you.
Is that Vander?
Old friend.
Wow, that's interesting, isn't it? I mean, when there's a fight there. There's actually a physical fight going on, and it sounds like he's saying something like you have to choose whether you're going to have the strength to fight, to continue fighting for your life. But then, given the first part of that sequence, it seems to be it could be talking about like the internal fight, the internal struggle. And at that point when you're in the water and you're on that brink of no return, that just, what are you going to do in that moment? What was the phrase he used?
And all the while this question lingers before you. Have you had enough?
Have you had enough? Have you had enough of the fight of life, the physical fight? Are you strong enough to continue? Oh. And there's something in the tone as well. Have you had enough? It's almost said quite playfully, isn't it? Have you had enough?
It's funny. You could pass a lifetime without ever facing a choice like that. But it changes you forever. For that, I thank you.
So he's found some strength in this. For that, I thank you. It's helped him find a direction. Oh, Benzo's. Vi was in Benzo's shop. Oh, she's nervous. Look, so just her hands are shaking, but you can hear that banging in the background, like she's tapping her foot. It's fight or flight, trying to get rid of that energy. So what happens is, because she's anxious, she's bringing in more air. So she's probably breathing quicker to bring in more air. Heart rate escalates, goes up to pump that air round, the additional air round into the muscles ready for fight or flight. But usually in fight or flight, we end up fighting or flighting. So that energy actually gets used and goes somewhere. But if we're not fighting or flying, running away, the energy, it's got nowhere to go. So you fidget, you pace, you do this, you wring hands, you tap your feet. She's nervous for good reason. Oh, that mixes in with the footsteps of people approaching. And she looks resigned to what's going to happen.
Commander?
It's not the enforcer.
Don't have much time. I'm proud of you.
Oh.
Always have been.
I'm sorry.
It's like, we don't have much time, but just let me tell you how important you are to me and how good you've done, and I'm proud of you.
This is the only way to protect the others.
Protect the family.
What are you... No!
Oh no, he's gonna sacrifice himself.
Are you gonna let us make the arrest or not?
You'll oblige a doomed man one last smoke. Won't you?
Won't you? Bit late, he's already had it. Or started it.
Without you down here, it all falls apart.
Commander, no! I can't do this!
It's the only way.
Selfless commitment here.
What's happening?
Oh. Is that Grayson?
No. Go, you animal. Benzo, stay back! Wait!
Stubborn to the end.
Is that just an injury? Or was that the end of Benzo? We talked, didn't we, in my Vander formulation about Benzo being such a protective factor, like one of the few people he could rely on, and what would happen if he went. Because if you start losing your protective factors, you become massively vulnerable. He's either going to hypo-arouse, go flat, or he's going to go absolutely nuts here.
What the hell have you done? This wasn't the deal!
Deal's changed.
That money covered in blood. That blood money.
No!
Come on, Vander, get up. Oh, that guy there looks broken. He's like, that was not worth the money. What have I done? Look at that body language, hunched over, like shame. Vi seeing another parent figure being beaten. I'm not sure from her perspective if she could see Vander being dragged off or whether she thinks he's been killed or what she saw with Benzo. But she's just seeing again the consequences of this. Well, I was going to say it's a battle between Piltover and the lanes, but it's not, is it? I don't think. Because Silco is lanes. That's lanes against lanes. So not only does she see that disparity from top to bottom, she sees the disparity within the levels of the bottom. So her whole world is it's just a mess for her, isn't it? It's just so unsafe. Everywhere she turns, there's just danger.
The crystals will only stabilize at high frequency. You have to
Crank it.
Yes, you have to crank it.
It works.
On paper.
We get a bit of relief now from that previous scene with these two, just to bring the viewer's arousal level regulated again.
Well, we could test it if we had access to my equipment.
Which is being destroyed tomorrow. Yeah, I meant to tell you.
That research is everything. My whole life.
We need proof.
Not without the crystals. The enforcers took them all. They're gone.
Yeah, locked away in Heimerdinger's lab.
Why would you risk this?
Do you think it was my life's ambition to be an assistant? Scientists seek discoveries, ways to make the world a better place. This Hextech dream of yours has the potential to do that.
Look at that sense of wonder in his eyes there
Seek
as Victor's
discoveries,
talking.
ways to make
It's
the
Victor,
world
isn't
a
it? I
better
think.
place.
And
This
Jace.
Hextech dream of yours has the potential to do
there.
that.
That kind of hope,
Our
that
Hextech dream.
dream, he just said it. Look at that shot. Almost looked a bit romantic there. Oh no, I forgot about his relationship with Benzo.
I saw everything.
Oh.
What about Vander? They took him.
Oh, look at that. She didn't know, did she? But that almost... She looks at Echo and's like, there's hope. We can find him. It's not too late for him.
Where?
So, oh my gosh. So not only is Vi trying to process... So at that time, she thought Vander might have been dead. So she's trying to process that. So she's trying to process Benzo's death. Then Echo comes in. And now Vi has to step up. She has to be the carer like Vander is to her. She now has to be that to Echo. Because Echo's trying to process what he's just seen. So Vi's having to shift into that responsibility. And she has to stay quite regulated to regulate him. Remember, before I've said a dysregulated adult can't regulate a dysregulated child, so she has to do that. She has to hold her own stuff back. There's probably something there around Vander doing the same for her when she saw her parents being killed. So echoes like Vi's experience from the beginning, from episode 1. So it's going to be bringing all that stuff up. I mean, let's not forget, Vi has been through a hell of a lot and she is doing really well, considering. There is... Oh, we're 9 minutes in, people. 9 minutes in, and there's so much going on, so much to unpick. Whoever wrote this are geniuses, just the way all these relationships are working.
They took him. Where?
Bit of anger in her face there as well. Oh, they've got loads of that stuff. They're building an army of super soldiers.
It's a little crude, I'll admit. The base violence necessary.
Oh, that's the name of the episode.
Even with your monsters, you won't win a war against Piltover.
I don't have to. I just need to scare them. They won't dare set foot in the underground again.
You'll get people killed.
So he doesn't care about the disparity, really. He just doesn't want them interfering with what's happening in the lanes and the underground. Is that because Silka wants to rule it, or is he just fed up of the power above?
For what? Pride?
For respect.
Oh, there we go.
Opportunity. Everything they've denied us.
You had my respect.
Oh, did you hear that emphasis on had? You had my respect. Not just you had my respect, you had.
You had my respect. The lane's respect, but that was never enough for you.
We shared a vision, Vander. A dream of freedom. A nation of Zorn.
Who's Zorn?
I trusted you.
Oh, okay. So that was him.
Betrayed me.
They've been here before then, had this fight before.
What I did to you, I've never forgiven myself. You are my brother.
No, you still don't understand.
Oh, did you see that when he said you're my brother? There's like a glimpse of, I don't know what the word is, a glimpse of recognition of the past there, recognition of what they used to have.
I've never forgiven myself. You are my brother.
Is that...
No, you still don't understand.
And then it just gets dismissed almost immediately.
Imagine what it's like When your blood mixes with the filth, oh, I hated you for what you'd done. But as time passed, so did my hate. I hated you, but you kept my respect until you made peace with them.
I had no choice.
But now you do. We have the power. We can finally realize our dream.
So I just want to stop that because I'm just thinking about what Vanda just said. I had no choice, but I didn't catch.
I hated you, but you kept my respect until you made peace with them.
So Vanda had Silco's respect, probably for being strong and being a fighter and looking after the underground and the lanes, until he made peace with them. I'm thinking about Grayson here. Till he made peace, he made a deal with them. He made a deal with the enemy. He lost Silco's respect at that point. And I remember in the opening scene, Silco says something like that he had to fight with Vanda, and then he said, "And I thank you for that." Like that moment, that was a very defining moment, I think, for Silco in his life and the direction that he's gone in. It's like he sees it now and he looks back as like a moment of opportunity. This is when I became strong and I knew what I wanted to do.
Played lapdog after everything we suffered.
Chair doesn't look friendly.
Choice.
Perhaps.
Why didn't Vanda have a choice? So did Grayson put him into a position where he didn't have choice? Or does Vanda mean kind of more generally, he didn't have a choice, he just didn't have another option. It was the only way to try and keep everyone safe. And that's what he went for. Even though it might have conflicted with his own kind of desire to fight, he knew the best outcome for everyone was for him to make that agreement.
But now you do. Shimmer, we have the power. We can finally realize our dream, brother.
Oh, that secret brother. So Vanda earlier said, you were like a brother, or you were my brother, and now Silco is calling him brother. Trying to get that connection. Now he wants something. He wants him to take the purple stuff. It's like, oh, I'll connect with you again now on the brother level. Very manipulative.
Brother.
Look at what you've done, Benzo. These kids, you'd sacrifice everything that we are. It's not the way. Can't you see that?
You'd die for the cause, but you won't fight for one.
I'm just not that man anymore.
So far, so good.
Counselor! Wait a minute, it's
What a surprise.
bedroom?
See you.
How could I have...
This is in my bedroom.
We can prove that it works.
You couldn't do so earlier today. How is tonight any different?
I like the way she doesn't even believe that lie at all. It's just complete. It's not even acknowledged as a lie. I'm trying to sneak here into my bedroom.
Please, we can prove that it works.
We figured out how to stabilize it.
You're the professor's assistant.
No, he's my new partner.
Even if you managed to prove your theory, the council would destroy it.
Heimerdinger will recognize the potential.
He already does. It scares him.
What about you?
I recognize that any worthwhile venture involves risk.
She looks interested in this.
Counselor, this technology, it's real. We should be the ones to lead it. Piltover, the land of progress, equality, innovation. Please, just give us a chance.
One night, gentlemen. Harold! Another late night. The work just doesn't end.
I always think that when someone gives you an opportunity like that, someone who's I don't know, like a higher power, that's not a good way to phrase that, but someone who has more power or control over you, when they let you do something, from their perspective, what's in it for them? What does she stand to gain from this? Because there's always something. She's not doing it out of the kindness of her heart. She stands to gain.
Well, if the enforcers hit tonight, we'll be ready.
Don't be such a big
Oh, look, she's stroking that bunny.
Where's the... Oh, you're back! Benzo's dead.
Dad?
They took Vander.
Who took Vander?
I don't know, but I need to help him.
We're going with you.
See Milo there, we'll go with you. Not even a question of what's happened, how risky it is. Milo's just like, we're coming with you. We're going to save Vander.
We're going with you.
Whatever killed Benzo was like nothing I've ever seen. It tore him apart.
Do we know where they took him?
Echo followed them. The old cannery next to the docks. I need you to sit this one out, Powder.
What?
You're not coming. It's too dangerous.
But families stick together. You said it yourself.
I know what I said.
I want to fight. I can help.
You're not ready.
Oh, that's all she hears all the time, isn't it?
You're all I have left. I can't lose you. If they come for you, take this and run. Wherever you are, light it up, and I'll find you. I promise.
I mean, it's hard, isn't it, when you understand Powder's perspective of being rejected, being told she's not good enough, she's not big enough, she's not strong enough, she'll get in the way. Like, that really hits you, doesn't it? Knowing that she's hearing that again and she's being left alone. So she's hearing all of that and then she's being left alone and abandoned. So rejection and abandonment there. But then from Vi's perspective, Vi's like, I've lost everything already. I'm losing everyone I care about. I just cannot cope with another loss. I need to be the protective figure. I need to be like the mother figure here. I need to protect Powder, because if I lose her, I just don't know. That will be the end of me. I just probably won't be able to cope anymore. She needs Powder. And so hence she obviously wants to keep Powder safe. But Powder's not going to see that perspective. I mean, let's not just forget how young Powder really is. What is she in this? Like 10? It's tough on both of them.
It's all here.
Don't blow up the building.
Time to crank it.
I don't think it's gonna hold! Look at the buildup!
The resonance will stabilize it.
Victor looks pretty confident.
I can help them.
Oh, she's got an idea. Oh, so that was really interesting, wasn't it? She was very, very dysregulated at the beginning. We saw her kind of hitting her head, obviously crying, shaking. And similar to what I think I said at the beginning now about Vi, and that, you know, if you get into fight or flight, there's nowhere for the energy to go. So you end up just feeling it needs to go somewhere. So you're looking for things to break or to punch or whatever. But then she breaks the toy, then she's holding the bag, which has got the blue balls in it. She's dysregulated, but she's not so dysregulated that she can't think and come up with ideas and kind of problem solve, because she's able to do that in that moment, which is really interesting. I mean, we talk about this idea of the triune brain, where you have like the lizard brain that does like breathing and you know, those kind of bodily processes. Then you have like the limbic system, which is like people refer to sometimes as the animal, the mammal, the monkey brain. There's loads of kind of terms for it, which is said to be like really emotional brain. When you're in that bit, you're not thinking, you're just acting on emotion. And then the prefrontal cortex is your thinking, problem solving, decision making part. And people tend to separate these parts of the brain into three bits. But it's really more complicated than that. They're not really three distinct parts that operate kind of outside of each other. They're all kind of functioning at the same time. So it's not like one turns off and the other one turns on. There's obviously pathways linking them together. So it gets, I think the term, is it heuristic? I think that might be the term about trying to simplify something to make it easier to understand. So it's not the case of you get so emotional your thinking brain turns off. There's obviously pathways that allows like feedback and stuff to happen. And she obviously has access to that because she looked so dysregulated, but then she relatively quickly became regulated again when she had some ideas. I'm not sure, I've just confused things even more there for people.
I can help them.
That little voice as well. I can help them.
Here we go.
This
Is it fixing things or is it reversing time? That was easy. Silco needs to invest in some higher grade security, I think.
What are you doing here?
We're breaking you out. Milo.
On it.
Milo doesn't mess about, does he? Just gets straight into business.
How did you get in? I mean, there's guards everywhere.
It was easy. We found an open window and...
Oh, God. You have to get out. Now.
Welcome.
I take my comment back about Silco needing more security. It's a trap.
But I'm afraid this will be a very short reunion. Have you heard the rumor? Vander the coward fled town with his children, and they were never seen again.
Clagger, see if you can find another way out of here.
Okay. You don't have to do this.
Yes, I do.
She's ready. See that breath she took? She's in the stance. She's got the gauntlets on. Come on, big guy. Let's see what you got. Uppercut. Yes. Oh, what a shot. As in the animation shot. That's what she's been training for. Get that high score on the board.
Milo, take a breath. You can do this.
Oh, he knows how to calm people, doesn't he?
We're gonna get you out.
Ready to rise to the surface.
Oh, he has to keep taking it. He has to keep taking it, does he? So it's not just a one hit and then you're a super soldier. You have to... You take it and then you turn into whatever monster it is and then you turn back again. Can't be healthy. See ya.
Milo, hurry.
Vi's looking concerned, but she's ready for it. Oh.
Vi!
Good. Fight smarter, not harder.
You did good.
Stop this lunacy and quit! Get on. Excuse me, underfoot.
Well, what have they done? What have they made?
You've actually done it. This is not what Piltover's future looks like, my dear boys.
That's for the council to decide. Perhaps it's time for the era of magic.
Hextech. For the era of Hextech.
You have to work. For me, okay?
I've got to say, I don't think she's thought this through. She knows it's destroyed a building. Even in her flashback, when she had a plan, she remembers the building exploding and being destroyed. So she knows how powerful this thing is. I think this is interesting. So this demonstrates really developmentally where she's at. This is poor decision making. She might feel like it's her. She surveyed the scene. She might feel like this is the only chance that they've got, but she doesn't really know that, and she'd already decided to do this before she knew how much trouble they were in anyway. This really shows the lack of maturity is not the right word. It's like just she's like 10 or 11. Her brain is still developing. That she's got hardly any experience. Her prefrontal cortex isn't even fully formed at this point. It's still developing. This just shows really how young, immature, where her development point is, regarding her age and what's going on. And interestingly, this is why people don't really want her about, because of that. Which you can kind of understand, although it's very hard on her. How's this going to play out? I'm almost hoping it doesn't work. It doesn't go off. Oh, the tension's building. Come on, Vanda, you're out. They're on their way out. Oh, look, that's like that drowning scene at the beginning. It's like that decision. It's probably not as deep as that, but deep. Great pun. It's probably not as deep as that, but sometimes you have to make that decision. Fight, sacrifice yourself. There's something there, isn't there? Oh no! Oh no! That is. She almost was pleased with her decision there, like it was worth the sacrifice. I mean, she's falling a long way. Showing how big the explosion is. Come on, Vanda, get up. Obviously it wouldn't kill that thing.
Kill them.
Or Silco. Come on, Vanda. Vice still alive. It's something worth fighting for. Come on. Come on, Vanda. Vicing all this again. Oh, she knows that's Powder's monkey bomb. So she probably knows that Powder's there somewhere. In fact, she probably thinks Powder's been killed. Beat his ass, Vanda. Oh, cheating. Strangle him. Silco's still got the knife in his hand. Oh, come on. Can he do it? He just didn't have it in him.
You still had it in you.
Always landed in the purple stuff. He's got open wounds. It's going to get into his bloodstream. Come on, Hound of the Underground. Come on. We're going to get a badass Vanda. Yes. Is that? Or even Vi's petrified, disgusted. Oh, let me just see that bit. Those facial expressions. Vi's afraid, a bit disgusted. That's disgust. Disgust rubs off on the Vanda. He's like, oh my god, what have I become? Silco's like, oh no. Oh, he's gonna make a decision. Vi. 100%. Good choice, Vanda. Save Vi. I can hear like his heartbeat.
Vander.
Take care of Powder.
No. No. Oh, did you pick up on that? So you could hear his heartbeat. It's slowing down. Those in the sound effects.
Vander.
It's definitely slowing down.
Take care of that.
Two very slow, deep ones there, and they've gone. That is amazing attention to detail. And I mean, I guess he died protecting Vi. He shielded her from that fall and the fire and everything. That's how he would have wanted to go, I think.
Vi, it worked! Did you see me? My monkey bomb finally worked!
You did this?
Oh, this isn't going to go down well.
Why did you do this?
Why did you like the blame?
I only wanted to help. I only wanted to help
I told you to stay away.
Please.
I told you to stay away!
No! Why did you leave me?
Because you're a jinx! Do you hear me?
Violet, please!
Oh, she's calling you Violet.
Violet, I need you, please!
Look at this, like that bridge scene, isn't it? The colouring and just how it is. Oh. We've got to talk about that. Where she strikes her.
I only wanted to help. I only wanted to help.
Powder's trying to process so much. I'm trying to process so much here.
Please.
I told you to stay away!
I mean, you don't come back from that, do you? You don't. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
No! Why did you leave me?
Because you're a jinx! Do you hear me? Milo was right.
It's just reinforcing everything she just hated to hear and everything about her self-worth and how she was seen by the rest of the group.
No!
And the way she says Violet as well. And that's reminiscent of that scene with Vander where I think he holds up her arms at some point and says, this gets nowhere, or this doesn't solve anything, or something like that. And now she's like, Vander was absolutely right. And this is the hand that I used to strike Powder.
Violet, please!
Now Vi's feeling ashamed. Look, it's regret, shame. There's still a bit of anger in there about what have you done, it's your fault, it's all messed up. Oh, look, she rejects, she literally leaves again.
Come back, please, Violet! I need you! Please!
He's going to finish her off. Or is he going to see an opportunity? Oh, I'm not sure.
I'll kill you if he hears you.
Violet doesn't... Oh, not Vi. Powder doesn't seem to get that part. That perspective that we've just had. So, Vi... Again, the argument, Vi strikes her. There's all the regret, shame. There's all my friends are dead. I'm trying to process all this and I'm taking it out on you right now. She then leaves Powder, rejects her, abandons her from her perspective. But then when she sees that Powder's actually could be in danger again, she's like, I'm going to come and get you, Powder. Like, I'm going to come and save you. I'm here for you. But Powder doesn't hear that part. So from Powder's perspective, the last thing she hears is, this is your fault. Everyone's dead because of you. You jinx everything. Everything screws up when you're around. You're not wanted. Just getting hammered in like the self-worth, self-concept domain. And then she leaves her. She literally leaves her like kneeling, begging for help, begging for her to stay. She just rejects her, abandons her all over again. In that scene that's so reminiscent of the bridge and the fire, and when she lost her parents, now she's losing Vanda, who was like the ultimate parent. Now she's losing Vi as her carer and essentially her parent. She's just losing everything. Oh.
Hello, little girl. Where's your sister?
Oh, he's reinforcing that she's been abandoned.
She left me. She is not my sister anymore.
Not my sister. They look concerned. Yeah. I think he was going to strangle her or something.
It's okay.
It's taking her.
We'll show them. We will show them all.
And we'll show them that we're strong and we do have some self-worth. Look at that determination. She's up for that. I tell you what this is bringing up for me. And this is so relevant to real life. It's uncanny. Is that these children who get rejected, they don't have anywhere to fit in. They don't really feel like they belong anywhere. Everyone keeps, telling them that they're not good enough. They don't have any worth. They leave themselves massively open to grooming's not the right word. It's not what I mean. Exploitation. They leave themselves massively vulnerable to exploitation. And I see this all the time in my practice where people like Silco, although I can't tell if this was intentional, if Silco had pre-planned this before that exchange, but where adults and people in positions of power, as in I don't mean like authority power, but people who can manipulate other people, I mean in that context, they will actively seek out where vulnerable children who are able to exploit it kind of live and hang out. So they'll actively look for like residential placements or temporary accommodation where they know there are kind of adolescents around, because they know those adolescents are vulnerable, and they will actively try to recruit them into crime, things like county lines or sexual exploitation. They will take advantage of these children, and it's fucking disgusting. It's horrible. This is what I think of when I see this. It's so relevant to real life.
How could I have ever let you down?
Oh, that song as well. How could I have ever let you down? It's like, oh, it's bringing it back. It's like Vi's singing that. Oh, I need to unpick the song a bit, I think. Right, I might do that song separately. Right, that's it. That's the end of episode 3. I believe that could be an arc done. There's a lot to unpick there, people. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to think about. There's so many complex dynamics and relationship stuff going on. Ooh. And oh my gosh, what's this going to be like for people who are watching this, who have experienced this kind of thing before in their real lives? Like that abandonment, that rejection, that maybe being kind of physically attacked by a loved one, being emotionally assaulted by a loved one. If that's happened to you, you've experienced this and you're now watching this in this form, like it's so real. Like, what is that bringing up for you? It's just so realistic. I can see now why some people have said that they've only been able to watch it once and couldn't go back to it. Like those kind of trauma reminders. There must be loads of people who can connect with that. And then some other people have found that actually they've found it quite therapeutic, almost like they can process their own stuff through this. I mean, if you think about most trauma interventions have an element of processing, have an element of purposely reliving to process. And the therapist's job is to facilitate that. It's to allow the person process. Don't let them escape. Don't let them avoid. Don't let them not think about it. You're trying to get them to think about it so the brain can process. The therapist is just allowing that happen. But I wonder if in some way for people watching this, although it's not directly them thinking about what's happened to them. It's connected. The memory networks will be connected. The brain can make sense of it, whether this is some form of processing for them. So the process that we try to activate in therapy is still happening. I wonder what that does. I wonder if that helps to reduce that distress that comes with it. It should do. Theoretically, it should do. Oh my gosh, I'm mega geeking out about this right now. Okay, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. We've set out what we wanted to do. First reaction, first impressions, what comes to my mind as a therapist. We can do a deeper dive analysis later. Let me know what you want to see in any deeper dive analysis. Are there any of the characters in this bit? We'll update Vi's, we'll update Powder's formulation. Maybe do one for Vi, that could be fun. Vander's, might as well bin it. Any scenes you want me to unpick? Just any little bits, any exchanges you want me to unpick? Maybe, I don't know, an analysis, a wider analysis, whatever. I'm here for you guys. I'm loving the community aspect of this and talking to you lot, especially in the Patreon. That's where I normally engage with people, just because I know that's where the committed, genuine people who are interested in this stuff tend to be. YouTube's a nightmare trying to filter through all the comments. Yeah, I hope you like that. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.